What is going on, guys? Merry Christmas Eve. Welcome to episode number 42 of our Cincinnati Bengals franchise. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the draft results. So basically, you guys know where everybody went off to, but we're going to check out the depth charts. So you guys are well aware by now who went where, but we want to know where you guys are stuck on the depth chart, right? For all of your created players, right? So we're going to check that out in the next couple minutes here. So we're already at the Buccaneers. We're going to go alphabetically because I know not every team has a created player, but a lot of teams do, okay? Some teams have two, some teams only have one, so on and so forth. So we see that Reese Ingram is actually a couple overall points behind Josh Rosen. He's a 76, Rosen's 79. Pretty interesting little quarterback duel here. So maybe the Cardinals last season in 2018 were not, well, 2018, 2019 as well. For 2 years, maybe they're not completely sold on the Josh Rosen experiment. So we see that Xavier Haney here as a quick XP. So he's going to be a good one, 78 overall for the Chargers. We don't know how long that Phillip Rivers is going to be around for the Chargers, but we do know that Will Grier is backing him up. So hopefully when Will Grier becomes the starter, they'll have that sort of connection there. So another guy that's pretty interesting is John Bosio, tight end. So Andy Reid loves this guy, right? 6'3". He's kind of in that Travis Kelce a little bit of mold here. He's the backup guy at tight end for the Chiefs. Going to be a pretty interesting player to say the least. But look at the Colts roster here real quick. We're going to go look at the halfbacks because Colton Fritch is the third rated halfback on this depth chart. But look at all the running backs these guys have. Kenyon Drake, Marlon Mack, Naheem Hines. I mean, Colton Fritch now they have. I mean, this is a insanely deep. They also drafted Benny Snell last year. All right, so this Colts team is, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're doing it for draft picks. I have no idea. Damian Adams here, the third string quarterback for the Dolphins. But hey, you know, the big thing is for Damian Adams is he's got to show his stuff here because one of those top two guys is going to get removed from the Dolphins roster. I can almost guarantee that. I would probably lean more towards Tyrod Taylor because Tannehill's kind of, he's a little bit younger. He's probably got a little bit more potential, even though both those guys have been in the league for a little while. So we also see that Adam Gonzalez is backing up Jimmy G. Pretty good situation to be in if you're Adam Gonzalez. Winslow Davis, a 77 overall receiver, quick progression. He's now a third string, so he's going to be in that slot behind Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb. Sean Stewart is actually the second rated linebacker. He's 5 years younger than Blake Martinez, and Blake Martinez is really, really good. Blake Martinez actually might leave somewhere and go somewhere else to play. I mean, we don't know how that situation is going to pan out because Green Bay is kind of in a weird spot. They're good, but they're not good enough, you know, so some of their best players might end up leaving. But you can also see that a lot of guys were talking about Orlando Still. I mean, maybe a couple guys, but they wanted to see draft for Orlando Still out of Arkansas. He's not too good. He's 70 overall. See Chad DeLondo here at 75 overall, left outside linebacker. He's actually the starter at left outside linebacker. So for the Panthers, pretty good pick for them because I know that they got him a little, probably in that middle round tier, right? So he's pretty solid. Yukamura Sonata is actually the least rated strong safety on this Patriots roster, and we will end up changing his college from Florida State to Fresno State. I did have to make that change, but again, I didn't want to go back in and edit the player because then I would see what I decided to do with progression rates and overalls, and as we got closer to the draft, I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to be kind of fresh going into it, but we see that a lot of these guys are a little bit older, like Duron Harmon, Devin McCourty. So Sonata's got his way. He's got his work cut out for him. He's definitely got to earn that starting gig, but yeah, he'll be fine. So we see that Giovanni Coaxum here at tight end. He's actually the fourth string tight end, but he's got some guys like Jared Cook and Charles Clay that are in their 30s. So, you know, it's a good pick for the Raiders. I think that Coaxum should beat out Xavier Grimble in the next few seasons, maybe even this season. and get that progression going and move up into being the starter maybe in 2 years. So we'll see how that pans out. But Jason Hall was drafted by the Texans. We're going to change his progression to quick because he isn't normal right now, but I want his progression to be quick, and I want that to happen because I want to see how this is going to pan out between him and Deshaun Watson. And only 2 quarterbacks on the roster. You want to see a little bit of a battle, but I know that Deshaun Watson is going to be like the face of the franchise. So maybe we'll just have to see how that all pans out with Jason Hall. He might end up leaving to go somewhere else and getting a starting job. We also saw that Demetrius Pringley was a late-round pick when they selected Rudy James. So they've got Rudy James and Demetrius Pringley. Pringley was actually not a created player, but he was an early round projected talent, but he ended up falling for whatever reason. So they ended up taking him late. So they like his talent level. It's just kind of sucky for Rudy James to kind of be behind all of that. So we see here, we're already in the preseason. Tim Brady actually got the start, so he didn't play too bad, but Dalton with 2 interceptions. The rumblings are that Tim Brady was more impressive, even in the shutout loss. But Tim Brady got the start. Dalton came in to back up, and then we see that we've got some good running numbers here, some good rushing numbers, at least as averages are concerned. Tyler Boyd led the team in receptions. Martavis Bryant had 3 catches for 15. I believe that was 15. Again, the screen is kind of hard to see. Isaiah Prince gave up 2 sacks as he started at left tackle. Jaquan Johnson, though, having a really good preseason so far. He's leading the team in tackles. We got Corey Hunter getting a tackle for a loss. He was our late cornerback pick. Sam Hubbard had a sack. So these are some pretty good signs here, but we did lose 21-0, so the offense kind of just really didn't get it going here. Adam Waldeck was 0 for 1 in field goals. That sucks because I really want Waldeck to kind of take over that kicking job. He's actually the same overall rating as Randy Bullock, and he's a lot better with his numbers, guys. His kicking power, his kicking accuracy is already better than what Randy Bullock has to offer us. So not sure why he's not simming very well, but either way, we won against the Chargers here. Tim Brady playing really well, guys. Played really well. 3 touchdowns, no picks, 60% pass completion rating, but Andy Dalton also came in and had a pretty good run there with 1 touchdown, and he also had 63%, I believe. But we see that Mixon and Martin, the M&M boys, the M&M brothers here, had a pretty good rushing attack going for them. We see that, let's see if Xavier Haney had anything. No, he didn't. So he's actually not really getting involved. So that kind of sucks. But receiving wise, Desmond Dallas had his first reception in his NFL career for 21 yards. No sacks given up by the offensive line. So that's a positive sign as we head into later part of the preseason. Jordan Willis had 2 tackles for loss. As far as sacks go, we had Carl Lawson and Jonathan Hankins with a sack and a half each. We also had Corey Hunter, another really good performance by Mr. Hunter here. Our late round pick at corner had an interception in today's action. So 5 for 5 for Adam Waldeck. Kemi Martin with 1 kick return for 24 yards. Gotta love it. I like what I'm seeing out of this football team, guys. I mean, I know we kind of sucked it up the first game of the year, 21-0, but we beat the Chargers 35-6. I like the way that's going here. So if we keep going, we do have to cut 9 players, and I'm actually going to show you which player. We don't have to actually cut the player. You can actually move them to the practice squad. I'm not cutting Trace McSorley. I need that 3rd string backup. I just like carrying 3 quarterbacks in every dynasty and every franchise that I run. It just seems to be the way to go. I'm not cutting Adam Waldeck. If anything, we would probably cut Randy Bullock, but I'm going to move Alexander Maryland to the practice squad. That's something that we are going to have to do here just to kind of save him. I like his overall, and he gives me kind of some flexibility here, especially if we suck, we can probably trade some of our receivers here. Douglas Clay was our late round draft pick at running back for just some depth, and he came out of Oregon, so I'm going to move him to the practice squad as well. Bobby Hart at right tackle. I know we got some depth at the position. with Lane Johnson and Nate Solder and Isaiah Prince. But I like to have a backup for your starters. Every starter has to have a backup, in my opinion. So I'm keeping Bobby Hart. We can cut this player at corner. We can cut Tony Brown. Probably not going to do a whole lot for us. Lewis Layman, we can cut him. Rod Taylor, Emmanuel Mosley, those are some players that we can get rid of as well. So I did get rid of Taylor. Hardy Nickerson is probably another player that we can get rid of because, again, we got a lot of linebackers and we don't really need his services. So we've also got 3 guys that are recommended, but I'm not going to end up moving those guys. We need to cut one more player, and I think it's going to have to be Devon Horn. It might have to be Horn, but I think we ended up going with, let's see, who do we go with here? I think it was, Joseph Kemper. So we moved him to the practice squad. So our backup punter. And you know what? It's funny is because we actually needed a punter. So I'm going to end up showing you guys who we ended up signing. But we see here in the third preseason game here, Dalton ended up getting the start. He had no interceptions, so that's good. But Tim Brady came in and did get a pick. So that's kind of sucky. But it is preseason. That's why you're working on it. He is a rookie. It's always about that learning curve. So receiving-wise, we had a pretty good performance here. Martavis Bryant had a touchdown, only 2 receptions, though. Lane Johnson did allow a sack. Tackle for losses, Darqueze Dennard. I like what he's doing at that nickel spot. Sam Hubbard came in. No sacks, but had 3 tackles for losses. I like to see it. Tyrell Dodson had a sack. I like that. That's good. No picks, no interceptions. Waldeck came on, missed another field goal, and was 2 of 3 for extra points. So there's something going on with him, but again, he's got the numbers, and I think when we user him up, he's gonna be pretty good. So now we're looking at some season stats for preseason. So I'm not gonna be, once we simulate the 4th preseason game, you're not able to go back and look at the box scores of the preseason. So these are the season stats for as of week 3 in the preseason. Like, again, I can't look at preseason week 4. So once you're in the regular season, you're in it. And so you guys can see that Reese Ingram is kind of pushing Josh Rosen big time. So we'll have to check and see if he ended up winning the job or not. Damian Adams did not get a single snap in preseason action. Maybe it's because they're really having that quarterback battle between Taylor and Tannehill, and they really wanted to see both of them. I'm not sure. Adam Gonzalez probably not going to win the job, but he definitely pushed Jimmy Garoppolo for that starting job. Had more yards, had more attempts for sure. AJ McCarron had a pretty good preseason. Wade DeLucio, their first-round pick, was pretty solid as well. Looking at the Lions here, Stafford and Warren Remmers out of UCF. Pretty interesting. Didn't really do enough, I don't think, to win that job. Stafford's definitely going to be the guy. Drew Lock, Eric Krause, Nick Foles, Shea Patterson between Russell Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, Mason Rudolph. Let's see Jason Hall and Deshaun Watson here. So both those guys had some pretty good, Jason Hall, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Wow, he actually did really well, 61% completion rating. But I don't think he did enough to prove to the staff that Deshaun Watson needs to get benched, right? So that's just probably not going to happen. Reese Ingram was one of the passing leaders in the NFL for preseason, so I like to see that. That's pretty cool. We see that Devin Singletary, a lot of guys were talking about in that draft last season, so not this most recent one, but last season, were thinking that maybe I should have drafted Devin Singletary, but hey, Steelers, we're going to have to deal with Devin Singletary coming up actually in this first week, because that's who we're going to get. So let's look at the rushing leaders. Let's see if anybody did anything here, and I don't see anybody. I don't think anybody else here. Let's see the Colts, because I know that Colton Fritch actually. Let's see if he got any carries. He didn't get a carry. He's the 3rd string running back. He didn't even get a carry. Unreal. So I don't know. Maybe they don't really like Colton Fritch. They drafted him, but he's got that superstar rating that I gave him out of Army. we might have to trade for him, guys. I'm not even kidding. We might have to go with a 3-back set. Can you believe that? Could you believe that? I couldn't. That's crazy. Let's see. I don't think Giovanni Coaxum had any receiving numbers here. We'll have to see if we can check him out real quick. If we go down to If we go down to ourselves here, we see that Tyler Boyd led the team in receptions. AJ Green had the most yards, 132. Tyler Boyd was not that far behind. John Ross had another good spring preseason. I'm talking MLB, guys. Spring. Xavier Henry didn't. Oh, no, he had 5 catches for 42. No touchdowns, 14 average yards per catch. That's pretty solid. Like to see that. Here's a guy we didn't show on the depth chart, but Gavin Daniels, 7 catches. I think that's 66 yards. He's a star in the making at 77. This is probably a player we should have drafted rather than Desmond Dallas. I think Gavin Daniels is going to be pretty solid, guys. So we'll have to keep tabs on him. Let's go to the Packers had Winslow Davis. Panthers, let's go to the Panthers and look at Philando Still, 3 receptions for 21 yards. Everybody was on me about Philando Still. You guys still on the Philando Still train? Let me know. So let's see Giovanni Coaxum here and see if he did anything, if he got involved at all, and he did not. As 4th string tight end, that's not a good spot to be for to get any action for sure. So when we look at the Ravens, check out the Ravens. Nelson Aguilar, I mean, look at this thing, man. Morgan Victorian, Chris Conley, Crabtree, Hurst, Aguilar, Andrews. I mean, they've also got Tyreek Hill, by the way, so I don't know why he wasn't involved. Maybe he got hurt or something, I'm not sure. But, yeah, that team's going to be good, guys. The AFC North just got a lot better. We got better. The Ravens got better. The Steelers are always up there. The Steelers are always good. And the Browns are improving too. So, again, really good AFC North this season. So when we look at the defensive numbers, we see that Colin Hopkins had a interception. Cody Barrett had 2 pass deflections. So he's going to be a good one, guys. He had 13 solo tackles at, I think he led the team. Cody Barrett led the team in tackles. That's crazy. At cornerback? I mean, good Lord. Maybe teams were just trying to fire right at him, test him out, right? Get some film on him. That's what some teams like to do with some rookies at cornerback. So looking at the defensive numbers for the Patriots, we're looking at Sonata. We're trying to find him up on the list. He didn't get any playing time, and which kind of sucks. Being buried on the depth chart as the number 5, we'll have to probably wait until next season until he actually gets some action here. So we see Sean Stewart, 11 tackles, 2 assists, so he had 13 total, one tackle for a loss. Had a pretty good preseason. Also had a pass deflection at middle linebacker. So a lot of good things to like about Mr. Sean Stewart. All right, let's go ahead and check out. The Lions didn't have anything on defense going on here. We don't really care about the Lions, guys. We don't care. Let's go to the. Let's see if we had anybody else. I don't think the Chiefs had anybody on defense. They did not, but we were trying to, we got to check out Bazio. So he had 4 catches for 27 and a touchdown. So again, he's got those Travis Kelce chops, guys. Everybody starts comparing our rookies to real life players, right? So John Bazio looks like the next Travis Kelce in the making in that Andy Reid offense. So keep in mind, if he went anywhere else, I don't know how well he would do, but let's see the defensive numbers for the Cleveland Browns, and let's check out Mr. Derek Westbrook. That's who we want to check out. So he actually didn't get any time. Derek Westbrook, the 3rd-rated defensive end, didn't get any time. That sucks. It really sucks. And you know what? If I had control of these teams, I would change it. But we see that Cole Sharp had a assist for a tackle, and that was it. But look at who's really performing. A freak in the making, guys. Deshaun White out of LSU, no, not LSU. His brother, Devin White, was from LSU. Out of James Madison. Guy's insane, man. All those tackles, those sacks, tackle for losses. This guy's going to be really, really good. Looking at our own defensive numbers here, Jaquan Johnson led the team in tackles, had 22. Like it. I like to see that, guys. Jaquan Johnson really coming through in that sub linebacker spot and that dime look. He's also getting involved in some safety packages as well. We're getting our subs in. I know that Trey Weddle was kind of having that role as well. We're also signing a punter, Drew Kaser, because Kevin Huber is retired. So When we looked at the retired list, it didn't show Kevin Huber, but he's no longer with us, so we're going to have to sign a punter that is going to be pretty good. And Kaser with that 96 power is very good. So we ended up cutting Randy Bullock. He's going bye-bye. We're going to go ahead and go with Adam Waldeck and that superstar or that star XP. Gotta love it. Adam Waldeck, the left-footed kicker. So it'll be interesting to see how we go from there. So looking at the schedule, this is a pretty interesting schedule. We get the Steelers 2 times in 4 weeks, and then we get the Browns 2 times in 5 weeks. Pretty strange, right? But when we look at this schedule, it's going to be tough. This schedule is actually really tough when you look at it. All these teams are improved. I mean, we get the Cowboys, we get the Texans, we get the Chargers again, we get the Steelers 2 times, obviously we get the Ravens twice. It's going to be tough, guys. No joke. So Andy Dalton is really going to have to come through and step up this season. I know that we had a miracle run last year, went 13-3. It's no guarantee that we're going to win the division again, okay? Like, even last year wasn't a guarantee because we had the Ravens chasing us and the Steelers were also chasing us too. So it was a 3-team race, and it's probably going to be a 3-team race yet again. So we've definitely got our work cut out for us, and we're going to have to get a little bit better at corner. That's what I'm looking at right here. Xavier Howard in that man-to-man type of role. Quincy Wilson, I'm looking at the man coverage here. Obviously, Aqib Talib is the best in that man coverage, but I was looking at also zone coverage and seeing like where everybody's at as far as overall rating, who the best guy is to sign, and that's Aqib Talib. So I'm signing Aqib Talib to be our number 2 corner. That's obviously going to push Darqueze Dennard down and some other players down as well on that list, such as Corey Hunter, such as I was also going to say Drake Kirkpatrick, but he's no longer here. Kendall Sheffield's going to have to get moved down a little bit, but you gotta. It's go time, right? It's go time. Like I said, we went 13-3 last season, but you can't you can't allow yourself to not improve, right? That's what we're going to try to do. So I did sign Aqib Talib, so he is on the team. You guys can see Tim Brady in practice, just to get you guys a look and see him and Kemi Martin as well, some guys like Desmond Dallas, some guys on our offense. Defensively, we don't really have a lot of rookie starters, So on offense, we kind of do here. And look at Tim Brady making some really tough throws right here, guys. I like what I'm seeing out of the 6'5" quarterback here. If you guys can hear him in some game sound, he actually sounds like Tom Brady, and I did not do that at all. I didn't even touch that. So it was something maybe with the CPU. I don't know. So it's actually pretty funny that the CPU was able to, maybe it's based on his size. I don't know. But look at these throws right in the breadbasket to John Ross. I mean, gotta love it. So Tim Brady didn't win the job, though. I know that kind of set up for, who's going to be the starter. But Andy Dalton's going to be the starter as we go into this week number 1 matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Tim Brady did show me something, and I hope he showed you guys something that, he might be ready maybe next season to take the role. I think that's probably the way that we're going to go. Andy Dalton's got 1 more year on his contract. It's this season. So we'll see how he does this year. Hopefully he pushes us to a Super Bowl, maybe another AFC Championship game. We'll just have to see how this thing pans out. I at this point, I really don't know how this is going to work out because we got to take care of business here against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, we get them 2 times in 4 weeks, and then we get the Browns 2 times in 5 weeks, and then the Ravens late in the season. So a lot of AFC North teams have gotten better. It's going to be a tough year. That much I can guarantee you. So, all right. So not thinking too much ahead into the future. Let's get right into this football game here. Pittsburgh Steelers against the Cincinnati Bengals. First play of the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers here is going to go to James Washington. And check out the play there by Darqueze Dennard. Totally missing the blockers. Sucked up one of the linemen. And then the cleanup by the other corner there to push James Washington out of bounds. Devin Singletary going to get this carry up the middle for a 4-yard gain. Actually, 5-yard gain. Going to be 3rd and 6. You know what's interesting? I got to find out where Le'Veon Bell went off to. I think we covered that 2 years ago. I think we covered that, but I'll have to recheck and see where he went because he's no longer a Steeler, guys, and that was pretty interesting to see that they're giving the reins to Devin Singletary here. So 2nd and 5 after that first down to Smith Schuster out there to the left is going to be 3rd and inches. And Singletary going to get the carry here, but nice job by Sean Williams to come in on the blitz to stop Singletary from moving to the right. He ended up electing to go to the left, and good cleanup tackles there by our linebackers and defensive linemen. So Andy Dalton, interesting case of Andy Dalton. Obviously played really, really bad in the AFC Championship game. And on this play here, 1st and 10, he's going to take a big hit. Does get rid of the football, though. But again, there was just nobody open. There's nobody open for him on the slant. So we're going to actually go with Kemi Martin on 2nd and 10. The first running play of the game is going to go for 15. So Kemi Martin, kind of that change-up that we threw against the Steelers. I didn't want them keying too much. I do like to run on 2nd down and long just to get us a 3rd and manageable. So I just didn't want to go with Joe Mixon on that play, right? So I didn't want them keying in to say, oh, Mixon's in the game here, or they're definitely throwing, or running, sorry. So Dalton trying to throw, that's what I meant, goes 0 for 3 so far on this game. 3rd and 10, and Dalton firing it out deep to John Ross, and a pass goes incomplete. So pretty mediocre possession there by Cincinnati's offense, so I'm not sure what exactly happened. Maybe we're just trying to feel out the new look Pittsburgh defense. They do have Keanu O'Neal back there at safety, so they did have him signed up through free agency. We see that Martavis Bryant was wide open on a curl route, and Andy Dalton just totally missed him, so I'm not sure what's going on there. And Andy Dalton trying to drop back, and TJ Watt is going to hit him big time, forces the fumble. Luckily, Nate Solder was there to make that fumble recovery, and we see that John Ross is wide open up the middle. Dalton hits him in stride, but it's not going to be enough for a 1st down, so it's going to get to 3rd and 6. Roethlisberger dropping back, rolling out to the left, and look at Carl Lawson is there. That's 2 sacks so far on the game for Carl Lawson, and he is picking up right where he left off, guys. Here's a pass complete out there to John Ross, and he's got the spin move and the speed, and he's in, guys, diving into the end zone. That's a touchdown. John Ross, Cincinnati, up 7-0. So Ross, guys, on those little drag routes, guys, again, he did it last season. He's doing it again this year. It's just money. It's just absolute money. And here's our new free agent signing, Aqib Talib, going to come up big time with an interception off of Ben Roethlisberger. We're going to get the football back with 11:07 left to go. And here is a pass complete to Ross in a little juke move up the middle. Again, guys, John Ross is just a machine. He's a machine. It's just amazing to me how good he is, as only as an 80 overall. So I just don't know why he's this good, but he is, and we're utilizing it, right? We're not going to stop. So here is Mixon splitting out to the right, and a pass complete yet again to John Ross off the slant. Here's 3rd and inches, and I don't think I saw that it was 3rd and inches, guys, because we're running a pass play. I would have definitely been running the football had I been paying attention. So 4th and inches, and we're going to like to kick this field goal. I want to go up 2 scores against Pittsburgh. We don't need to be messing around here. This is a big game. Take your points, go up 2 scores, and let your defense do some work, because it's obvious that we've been playing really well here. So here's Singletary on 3rd and 2, and he almost didn't pick up the 1st down. 2nd and 10. Here's a pass incomplete. Great play out there by Jesse Bates covering Antonio Brown. Really good play to bobble that football out of his hands. So 3rd and 10. Roethlisberger dropping back, and he's going to fire out to the left, looking for Smith-Schuster, and it's going to be incomplete. So it's going to set up a field goal attempt for Tavecchio, and he is going to kick this up and good. Barely. So the wind played a factor right there. Barely got it inside that inner quadrant of the field goal post here. So 1st and 10, and look at another drag route play to John Ross, and the missed tackle, the juke move on Vince Williams. And look at, guys, he is burning everybody. He's gone. 17-3 Cincinnati. That's a 65-yard touchdown, and he does a little Fortnite dance. I don't know what dance that's called, but it reminds me of Fortnite, even though I don't play that game, because I'm too old to play that game. 2nd and 8. Cincinnati up 14. Here's a pass complete to Smith-Schuster for the 1st down at the 46-yard line. 2:53 left to go, and Singletary going to get the carry, and we didn't know if it was going to be a play-action pass or not. So I usered that corner, try to take out Roethlisberger, and let the D-line do the rest of the work here. Here is a nice play there by Sean Williams, again, coming up big time with the tackle for a loss. It's going to be 3rd and 13, so back-to-back plays for a loss. And they're going to go with the draw play, and Geno Atkins comes up big with a tackle. And look at this, not Kevin Humer, but Drew Kaser comes on, and we get a block. So a little bit of Madden cheese, possibly, with 11 seconds to go in the second quarter. We get a block punt. Interesting. It's because it's going to set up a field goal attempt for Tavecchio and the Steelers, and they're going to nail it through to end the half. So they cut the lead 17-6. So they cut the lead to 11. Let's check out the first half stats here real quick. And in my opinion, we're dominating the football game. They have 63 yards passing, 55 rushing yards. We have a turnover as well, and we're killing these guys right on defense, on offense. It's just really working out for us so far. So Dalton pass complete here on a drag route yet again to John Ross, and look at that throw. Where was this throw? That was to nobody other than the other team. Look at this. It's a simple drag route, and Dalton's not even moving. Right? It's so bad. That is so bad. You have to hit him in stride. He's throwing right at that corner in the zone, in the flat zone coverage. So I don't know what Dalton is doing there, and that's no input on the control stick, guys. That's just simply just dropping back and just hitting the B button. So I don't know what that is. But firing out deep to Martavis Bryant on 1st and 10, nothing doing there. 2nd and 10, and we're going back to Martavis Bryant. He's going to get his first catch of the game. It's going to get that first down. So got to get him more involved here, because it's basically been the John Ross show, and I want to get Martavis Bryant involved a little bit. So here's Ricky Ortiz almost going to get that touchdown. So Dalton, if he had a little bit more zing on it, I feel like he would have got him. Here's Martavis Bryant with the second catch of the game on a 2nd and 10. Going to get about 7 here, actually 8. So it's going to be set up a 3rd and 2. We're going to go with Joe Mixon in the backfield here and try to get this first down, but the gap coverage was there. Nothing doing, no first down happening here, so we're going to settle for a field goal. 11-mile-an-hour wind coming from right to left, and Waldeck punches it through for a 20-6 lead now. Tim Brady with the hole. There he is. He looks pretty sweet with that eye black, of course. That big dominating presence at backup quarterback. We'll see how he does, because we'll see how he does this season. If there's an injury to Dalton, who knows? Vontez Burfict with a sack. It's going to be 2nd and 22. Good play there by Jordan Willis. It's going to be 3rd and 21, so they only pick up 1 yard. Third quarter, 6:05 left to go. Vance McDonald moving to there he is. He's just sitting there at a screen spot. And here's William Jackson going to come up with the interception, but it's going to be incomplete. So our defense playing really well. Roethlisberger struggling. Here is a pass to the right, and look at John Ross again coming up with the diving catch, guys. So he's got 7 catches for 121 yards and 2 scores, guys. Just the speed is absolutely killer so far against the Steelers. And look at Kemi Martin here. Going to get involved yet again on this play. He's going to get the first down and more. Dalton running for the end zone. He doesn't slide. And he fumbles the football. So it's going to be recovered by Cameron Hayward. But on further review, he was down. He was down by contact. It's going to set up 3rd and goal at the 1. We're going to go with Mixon again, and he just can't punch it in. We didn't get enough of a push on that offensive line, and Waldeck is going to have to come back and kick this field goal. And check this out, guys. You can actually hold the A button after you get done with your kick meter. You can actually hold down the A button, and he doesn't kick it yet. So maybe that's what I'm going to have to start doing. Maybe it's a timing thing for the CPU. I don't know, but it seemed to work there. We had it on low power and heavy accuracy, and I just held it there, right? Probably something I'm going to have to consider. So after this interception, William Jackson coming through on a pick here. He led the league last year with 9 interceptions here. We're going to go with a handoff on our favorite running play, the stretch play. Joe Mixon with the moves, with the shimmy and a shake. Going to get a score here. It's going to be 30-6 in the third quarter. Here is Joe Mixon yet again because we get the football back, and look at Mixon on the toss play, the toss crack play. And he's got a little something to say, but ooh. There probably would be a fight that's going to break out here in real life if that happened. But Mixon, we're sticking it now. to the Steelers, 37-6, and on that play, that was huge. Look at this. We're going to give a touchdown right back. James Washington comes through with a long touchdown off that post corner route to the sidelines. Sean Williams trying to lay the lumber here and get that big time hit on James Washington, but it wasn't happening. So we're going to go back to the stretch play, and Mixon bouncing off of a tackle. Martavis Bryant with the block, and Mixon, guys, is gone again. 3 straight touchdowns of 50 yards plus by Joe Mixon, guys. He's absolutely killing it right now. He's at it again. So if you guys remember the last time that we saw the Steelers live stream against the Steelers, it was I think it was we were on the road yet again, and yeah, Mixon absolutely killed it. He had over 200 yards rushing. He was just a beast here. But look at who checks into the quarterback, guys, now that it's 44-16 with 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. Tim Brady, his first NFL throw ever, not excluding preseason, okay, is an interception. And again, I'm not sure what the CPU is doing. He throws an interception on his first throw. It's just like it wasn't even close. He probably shouldn't even have thrown that football anyway because there was a lot of traffic. But Jaquan Johnson on defense going to get a sack here on Roethlisberger. So again, he is playing well in his second year as a pro. I like what I see out of Mr. Jaquan Johnson here. So defense holds with 2:27 left to go, and Tavecchio lining up for this field goal, and they're probably going to have to do something about kicker because a lot of these field goals that Tavecchio has made or missed have not looked very good, right? So here's Martavis Bryant again with Tim Brady, and they hook up for a first down. So pretty good throws here, in my opinion, to lead us up here to the past the 50-yard line. And Brady, he's got a wide open man here that's Desmond Dallas, but a little too much zing, and he's going to miss his receiver here. So we have a little bit more loft on it. He would have got it. But look at Kemi Martin with the shimmy, with the spin move. But he's just going to go down because he's a consummate team player, right? We got a minute left. There's no reason to, put your defense back out on the field, right? We're trying to end this game, trying to ice the game. So very, very unselfish play there by Kemi Martin. And we're just trying to run this clock out. He's going to get his carries. He knows he's going to get his extra opportunities, right? But that's all we're trying to do, right? We're just trying to kill that clock and get out of Pittsburgh with a nice AFC North W, guys. So we'll check out some stats, but look at the rushing yards. 264 rushing yards, 2 takeaways on defense. The 1 interception came from Tim Brady. So, hey, Andy Dalton was efficient. mildly. Didn't give up the football at all. Had 2 fumbles, but we'll see his completion percentage was not very good in today's game. I'm not sure what that was exactly from the CPU. Just a lot of weird, bad throws. Again, 12 of 29 for 41%. Not good, but he had 2 touchdowns, no picks. I like to see that. We'll look at Mixon's numbers here. 12 attempts for 193 yards. Insane. 3 touchdowns as well. The guy was absolutely money. 6 rushes for 61 yards for Kemi Martin. John Ross, 202 yards, 7 receptions, guys. So I like what I'm seeing out of this offense yet again. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of defense. Guys, I will catch you on Thursday. Again, hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys on Thursday with our next episode in this Cincinnati Bengals franchise. We'll have week number 2 and week number 3 on the way. So I'll see you guys then. As always, peace.